what if I tell you that Phrolova's base damage is not as great as we hoped until we break through her second passive skill? Yeah, I know. Sounds like your average Wuthering Waves Resonator situation, right? But here's the twist. Her raw multipliers are so low, Yang Yang, of all people, has better numbers. I mean, come on. But don't burst into operatic despair just yet, because unlike your average DPS disappointment, Phrolova delivers a dramatic crit payoff once you understand how to build her. Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? The good news is Phrolova, like many limited 5 stars, perform a flurry of strikes with theatrical flair. And with enough tuning, those notes can absolutely resonate. But to get there, you can't just throw on random attack stats and hope for a standing ovation. You need to unlock her second inherent skill. And once you do, she gets up to 160% crit damage under specific combat conditions. Yes, you heard that right. 160% max. 60% from the initial liberation drop and up to 100% on top when it exceeds the max amount of stacks. And this is on top of her echoes. It's like casting a soprano in a death metal opera and handing her a microphone made from Thor's hammer. To get this sorry crit bonus, you need to use Phrolova's enhanced Hecate attacks during her liberation. Every hit gives 1 stack. When full, bam, you get that glorious crit damage steroid. And here's the area-worthy twist. The stack doesn't vanish immediately. It stays with her for a full 30 seconds unless consumed, or she leaves the stage for an extended duration. This means you can plan your rotations, reposition, and still keep the buff ready for another grand performance. So, you're wondering if you need to go all in on energy regen to keep up her liberation uptime. Actually no, not even close. Phrolova's liberation doesn't use energy at all. Zero, nada, zilch. It's always stage ready. That means you can forget about stacking energy regen and instead focus on hitting those high crit notes. This makes her build straightforward, stack crit rate and crit damage like she's prepping for a Diva Encore performance. Now let's talk echoes and weapons. The unsung orchestra pit behind Phrolova's soprano solo. The new Echo set, considered as her best in slot, debuting in version 2.5, isn't just a game changer. It's the entire pit orchestra getting upgraded to a full-blown Philharmonic.
Nice.
Unlike those tedious 5-piece commitments from older sets, this one only needs 3 pieces to activate the passive. And what's the condition? You need 0 resonance energy, which is perfect because Phrolova couldn't care less about energy. The 3-piece passive boosts crit rate and echo skill damage, which already sounds delightful. But the real star here is the 4-cost echo, which adds even more havoc damage and echo skill buffs. It synergizes with her entire kit so seamlessly you'd think the composer wrote the piece with her mind. It's elegant, it's explosive, and yes, it's absolutely what turns her from warm-up act to headliner. Then, there's her signature weapon. You definitely want it. It boosts crit rate, buffs 2 major damage types, and even shreds defense. It's practically composed for her. What you want is to cross the golden 70% crit rate threshold and push your crit damage through the roof, ideally over 300%. So the best way to build her is using 44111, which grants you 2 crit main stat slots. If you have her best in slot weapon, go for 1 crit rate and 1 crit damage 4 costs and 3 attack percentage 1 costs. This setup will easily get you around 66% crit rate and a whopping 354% crit damage, which is already more than enough to make any mob question its life choices. And if the RNG gods truly favor you with 5 blessed double crit rolls across your echoes, you'll sail past 70% crit rate like it's the grand finale of Phrolova's solo concert. But if you're not lucky enough to own a crit rate weapon, just go for 2 crit rate 4 costs instead. Even then, you'll still hit a respectable 64% crit rate and 310% crit damage. With a little help from high roll substats, you'll easily meet and exceed the crit benchmarks necessary to make her damage sing. And regardless of the setup, both builds can net Phrolova a glorious 1,723 total attack, which is enough to keep her on top of the charts. And if you're wondering how to turn Phrolova's havoc damage into a standing ovation, well, enter Cantarella, our enchanting duet partner. She provides a generous 20% havoc damage bonus and a dazzling 25% resonance skill bonus as if she's tossing roses at Phrolova's feet. But it doesn't stop there. With Empyrean Anthem equipped, Cantarella will also boost Phrolova's attack every time her coordinate damage crits. To top it off, with a 4-cost main slot echo that brings another 12% havoc damage bonus, and we're just getting warmed up here, throw in any 2-piece havoc echo set and you gain another 10% for a total of 42% havoc damage bonus. However, do take all these with a grain of salt for now because I am still trying to figure things out. Once we have more clarity, of course, I will provide an update. However, with this in mind, you will need to have Resonators who will only stay on field for a brief period because her stacks do not clear if she is relieved for only less than 30 seconds. So, whoever joins her should not stay for more than 15 seconds each on the field. Shorekeeper and Cantarella? Possibly. Shorekeeper and Jinshi? Possible again. That could work too. Camellia? It likely won't work with another hypercarry in the team. Phrolova is the only hypercarry in this play. So what have we learned so far? Phrolova is definitely not weak, but we need to break through the crit wall in order to make her go burr. She appears to be a hypercarry type who wants to hog the spotlight to herself like any true diva, right? She doesn't require energy regen, which is great, and she could be very F2P friendly, which is great for new players looking for an immediate main DPS unit. So my thoughts right now is that if you are new or you are free to play trying to find your first DPS, you gotta have this opera singer, as she will definitely become one of the easiest to build units in the game and perhaps its most F2P friendly. Even without her best in slot, even with just a 4-star attack percentage weapon, you will still get by. Yes, don't let those multipliers fool you. She's got the power. You just need to hand her the mic and let her belt those critical high notes. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.